everybody, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so glad you decided to stop by. Normally what I would be doing today would be what I eat in a day for Optavia for the 5-in-1. But lately I've been getting quite a few questions, and so I thought that what I might do is answer some of those questions, like my top 5 questions that I get asked. And then also I want to update you on my own health and weight loss journey. I posted a video, I don't know, almost a year ago, sharing my journey and why I do Optavia, why I became a health coach, why I think it works for me, all of that. And so I need to do some updating on that. All right, but let's start first with my top questions. I get asked these questions all the time. So, well, actually, before I get to the questions, let me just kind of give you a brief overview of what Optavia is. Optavia is a health and wellness program. It's designed to create optimal health. It's not just about weight loss, although it does have a weight loss component. And I would say probably 90% of people that come to Optavia, they come for weight loss. But we do have clients that just need to have a better relationship with food. They want to lean down a little bit. They just want to feel better, that kind of thing. And we put them in what's called a 3-in-3. But most of us do what we call a 5-in-1. And that's what I do. And that's what I'm going to be referencing today. Okay. So let me start with my very first question that I get asked the most. Do you have to eat Fuelings forever? Okay. So what Fuelings? If you're not familiar with Optivia, you're probably wondering what in the world's a fueling. All right, so a fueling is a prepackaged meal that comes from Optivia. We eat 5 of those a day, plus we eat one, what we call our lean and green, which is a meal we prepare for ourselves, or we might go out to eat and have it. So the 5 Fuelings is what they're referring to. No, you do not have to eat the Fuelings forever. But you can if you want to. They're very healthy. They're very good for us. There's a couple of them that I probably will eat forever. But no, you do not. In fact, the goal is when we go through transition, part of transition is taking you off the Fuelings and at the same time adding whole foods back. So it's totally up to the person once they reach maintenance, how many Fuelings, if any, they want to continue with. Okay? All right, the next question that I get asked a lot is it expensive? Well, for me, I would say no, it's not. But it really depends on how you look at it. So you have to consider, first of all, that you're replacing about 90% of the food you are purchasing right now. That's eating out, vending machines, drive-thrus, think Starbucks, the little run-throughs there. Anything like that, you're replacing 90% of that because we eat 6 times a day. Optavia provides 5 of those meals. So you can't look at the cost of Optavia on top of what you're already spending. It's kind of a reallocation. So I had a lot of potential clients that would call me, contact me, and want information about it. And that was one of the number 1 questions they asked. And so what I did is I kind of went back and looked at what I was spending before I started Optavia, and I considered everything, grocery store, eating out, stopping at a convenience store, drive-through, whatever. And what I kind of figured out was that I was spending probably about $50 to $60 more a month doing Optavia than just buying food from the grocery store, eating out, that kind of thing. So it cost me about $50 to $60 to do it. Well worth it for me. Well worth it for me. Now, other people, it's completely cost neutral. I think it cost me a little bit because Scott and I don't really eat out very often. So we didn't have that big expense. But for a lot of people that eat out quite often, they'll either save money or it'll be very cost effective, just cost neutral. So it just depends on what your lifestyle is as to how much it will actually cost you to do Optavia. So that question is kind of relative to your own situation. Okay, the third most common question I get asked is, does it taste good? Well, I always get kind of tickled at that one because I've been doing this for almost 2 years, and so if I didn't like the taste of it, I don't think I could have sustained it for that long. Does that mean that I like the taste of every single Fueling? No. There's probably, I'm trying to think, there's I think there's 65, that may have changed, but I think it's around 60 or 65 different Fuelings. And I've tried probably 40 of them. And of those 40, no, I don't like all 40 of them. There were things, I'll be honest, that the first time I tried them, I thought, oh God, nope, nope, nope. But then there were other things that I tried, and the first time I tried it, I loved it. I'll give you an example of that. The chocolate mint crisp bar, the very first time I tried it, I was like, whoa, this tastes straight up like a Girl Scout Thin Mint, you know? And of course, y'all know, if you watch me at all, you know I love the pudding. But yeah, I do have my favorites, and everybody does. Here's what I want to say about that question, does the food taste good? I think for most of us that are in a situation where we need to lose weight, we have really put a great emphasis on the taste of food. And we've put it above and beyond nutrition. It's not that we're not supposed to enjoy our food. We are. But we have to also consider nutrition. So our palates are so overstimulated by high fat, high sugar, high salt, highly processed drive-through type food, fast food, that's why we're so concerned with the taste. And I'm going to just share this little story with y'all. I went to convention a couple of years ago for Optavia as a coach, and I was a brand new coach. And a woman got up on the stage. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. She's been coached for quite a while. And she was talking to us, and she said the number one question that she always gets asked is that question: does the food taste good? Does it taste good? And she said what she tells them is, if I had known then, and she points to off right over here up on the big screen, we see a picture of her before she started Optivia, about almost 100 pounds heavier. And she said, if I had known then that it was going to do this, and she pointed to her like size 2 or size 4 self, I don't know, and it spotlighted her, and she leans forward and she says, I would have eaten sawdust off the floor. And then she starts talking about the amazing energy she has and how she can keep up with her twin girls, and just, you know, the joy and zeal she has for life. And then she said it again, I would have eaten sawdust off the floor. Well, that auditorium just erupted, because it was primarily coaches and then several clients there. And so we got it. We totally understood what she meant. When you find something that you're able to stick to, that sustains you and works, it tasting just amazing becomes less and less important. But I will say, it does taste good. Okay, are you hungry? Well, and I can see why people would ask that, especially people that see me eat, because if you've ever watched, you know, what I eat in a day, it doesn't seem like a lot of food. And it really isn't as far as calories. It's 850 to 1,050 calories. And I remember my first reaction to that. When I first heard that, I was like, oh God, I'm gonna be starving. Well, I thought that because I was eating probably close to 3,000 calories a day, if I'm really honest with myself. But the calories that I was eating were just empty calories. And so I was hungry all the time. So the thought of eating 900, 1,000 calories, I thought, God, I'm gonna be starving. But here's what I learned. Your brain doesn't tell you you're full. Your stomach does. And when your stomach tells you you're full, you've overeaten at that point. By the time your stomach is saying, stop, you've eaten too much. Your brain, on the other hand, tells you you're nourished. So when you go eat that fast food meal, your stomach says you're full, but then 30, 45 minutes later, you're hungry again. Why? Because your brain is saying, we're not nourished. We need food. What your brain is telling you need is nutrients. You need nutrition. So when I eat a little 100-calorie Fueling that is full of nutrition, 24 vitamins and minerals, carb, protein balance, like anywhere from 10 to 15 grams of protein, I'm not hungry, because my brain is like, yep, we're nourished. So the answer to that question is a big no. No, I'm not hungry. Now, the first few days when your body is adjusting, yes, you are hungry. You're getting accustomed to it. But once you hit about day 4 or 5, no. I have a lot of clients that one of their biggest problems is remembering to eat and getting all the food in, and they're shocked by that. So, and I was like that also at one point. I had to set alarms on my watch to remind me that it was time to eat. So no, you're not hungry. This question was more of a statement. It really wasn't a question. It was something that somebody said to me one day. I was eating a bar, and this person had seen that I was losing weight and knew I was doing some type of weight loss program. And this person that said this to me, she's extremely healthy. She's been healthy her whole life. I would venture to say she's never had to go on a diet or try to lose weight ever in her life. And not discounting her efforts, because she is a very healthy person. She works very hard at it. But I think she's probably what we would refer to as an intuitive eater. And she's an intuitive eater because she's never had a weight problem. Most people that have a weight problem, we are food addicts, okay? We're not intuitive eaters. So all that being said, what she said to me was, that's not real food. Well, I was so startled, honestly, by the comment that I didn't really know what to say, and I just kind of looked at her and smiled and just kept eating my bar. In hindsight, what I wished I had said to her was, well, no, you're mistaken. This is real food. It's processed, yes, but it is food. It is sourced from very high quality ingredients. And more than that, it's what I've chosen that's helping me get healthy and to lose weight. So for her to speak anything negative into that situation, she really shouldn't have. She really shouldn't have. And so I bring this up just to say to any of you who might be on program, there are people that will say negative things to you, that will say, oh, that's not healthy, or that's not real food, or that's processed, or whatever the case may be. I had people say things like that to me, yet I had my doctor over the moon for me. The first time I went to the doctor after being on Optavia, and she saw what I had lost, how much weight I'd lost, and that my blood sugar was in normal range, she said, "What are you doing? And please keep doing it." So I explained it all to her. I gave her a little overview that they gave me to give to my doctor, and she was ecstatic. Okay, she was ecstatic. So, not all of us can meal prep and macro count and do all the things and take off the weight we need. A lot of us, by the time we get to a place where we need to lose weight, we might be 50, 60, 70, 100 pounds overweight, and we're exhausted, and we've tried many things, and we feel very defeated. So when you come to a program that is sustainable, that has so much support as this one does, and it's working, I really hope the people in your life will be supportive. And if they're not, just realize that's more about them, not about you. And you just keep doing what you're doing, all right? That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, the last one, this question, all of these questions I get asked on the regular. Okay, this last question though, will you gain the weight back once you stop the program? Once you stop doing the 5-in-1, once you stop eating the Fuelings, if that's what you choose to do. Will you gain the weight back? My answer to that is, it depends. It depends. So here's the thing. I'm going to read. This is one of the books. All right, Dr. Anderson, Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, he's the founder, he's the creator of The Habits of Health. Okay, that's the program we do. It's called The Habits of Health. And I'm going to read just a short little excerpt from his book. And you get these books when you become a client. All right, the very first section of the book, it says 85% of people who go on a diet without behavioral support gain the weight back within 2 years. Okay, 85%. That was me. I've been on many diets and lost weight. Now, I've never lost as much as I did on Optivia, but I've lost quite a bit, and I always gained it back. That next year, within 2 years for sure, but usually the next year I would gain it all back plus some. And the reason that happens is because you're just doing a diet. You're not changing your habits. You're not changing your behavior. You're changing nothing up here, okay? So if all you're doing is following some rules to lose weight, then you reach your goal weight and you've not changed anything, yeah, you'll gain your weight back, even on Optavia, absolutely. And I know that personally. And here comes my health update. Okay, 2019, February of 2019, I started program. By November of 2019, I had met my goal of 60 pounds. I went from 205 to 145. Yay, wonderful. I did my transition and I went into maintenance. Went through the holidays. You know, that was November. That was right before Thanksgiving when I hit that 60-pound goal. I went through the holidays. I did gain a little, like 3 or 4 pounds, I guess, through the holidays. No biggie. That came right off. Not a problem at all. Okay, 2020. Enter 2020. So March of 2020, when the pandemic, the pandemic really locked us down March and April. Along with the global pandemic, I also had some really good things happening in my life. I started this YouTube channel, and as much joy as it brings me, it's a lot of work. My coaching business was growing just exponentially. It was really, I think people being in lockdown, comfort eating, people were gaining a little weight. And so people that had been watching me for a little while, they were reaching out. So my business kind of boomed. Also wonderful, but a lot of work. And then I had some things happen to me personally that I'm not going to go into detail, but suffice to say, it caused a lot of stress. So I had a lot of stress going on along with the rest of the world in 2020, and I wasn't ready for it, y'all. I wasn't equipped. And the reason I wasn't equipped is because I had just done a diet. I was a coach. I taught people not to treat it as a diet, but that's what I did. I treated it like a diet. I never picked up this book, and I'm embarrassed to admit this. I would coach my clients through this book and the life book and encourage them to read it and talk about the importance of it. And I barely skimmed it, you guys. But there's gold in here. And here's what I've been taught, and it's what I actually teach my clients, and now I know it to be true. You will lose weight on the 5-in-1. No doubt. If you follow it, it works beautifully. It's sustainable. It's so user-friendly. It works so wonderfully. If you learn the habits of health and truly make changes, you will keep your weight off. And you will become healthier and healthier and healthier. There's no end game. So I missed the boat on that part. So I gained some weight back this year. Now, I will give lots of credit to Optavia, because if I hadn't done Optavia, if I hadn't been a part of Optavia, and everything that happened to me in 2020 had happened to me, I can guarantee you I would have gained all 60 pounds back. There's no doubt in my mind, and my husband, he feels the same way. Anybody that knows me well feels the same way, because they've watched me do it. So Scott and I have been married for almost 32 years. He's seen me do that more than once. So I did gain some weight back, and I'm about to come real clean with y'all and tell you how much I've gained, because March 1st, this past Monday, was my day 1. I am starting over. I am starting over from scratch, because I didn't just gain 5 or 6 pounds, y'all. I gained 23 pounds. Now it probably makes sense to y'all why, when I'm doing my try-ons, I'm struggling. If any of y'all watch any of my unboxings, y'all are probably like, oh yeah, it makes sense now. So yes, I gained 23 pounds back. And y'all, look, that's really hard for me to say. That's really hard for me to admit, because I'm a health coach, and because I come on here on YouTube and I say, here's the 5-in-1 and do this and do that. And it's not that I was doing the 5-in-1, but I was also doing a lot more than that too. So don't think for a minute when I was videoing like what I eat in a day that I wasn't eating that. I was, but on other days I was eating other things. I was doing a very 5-in-1-ish. And I was yo-yoing up and down all summer long. And then about September, everything changed and the weight just went up, 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 up. And, the holidays, and then I even gained a little bit more over our snow palooza where we were homebound for 8 days or something. Those are all excuses though, you guys. That's all they are. They're excuses. I finally opened up my book, had a heart-to-heart with my coach, had what a lot of people refer to as a come to Jesus meeting, and got real with myself. And this that I'm doing right now is part of that. She encouraged me to live out loud. Live out loud. And I need some strong accountability. So the best way I know how to do that is just to be so transparent with y'all and just be real and tell the truth. So it's not like I haven't told y'all I was gaining weight. I mean, it was obvious. Y'all could tell I was. But, I fudged on, I never came clean and said 23 pounds. I'll be honest, I didn't know how much I had gained, but I made myself weigh 23 pounds. Yeah. So, like I said, last Monday was my day one. And so I don't have a what I eat in a day this week or even a let's cook a lean and green. This week is all about me getting back in structure, getting myself back in fat burn, getting my head right. I'm devouring this book. On a daily basis, I'm reading it. I'm still coaching my clients. And I'm going to tell you what, my clients are my biggest cheerleaders. They're like, come on, we got this. We got this, coach. We can do this. I love y'all. You guys that are watching me, I love you, love you, love you. Y'all are so amazing. I've got one client in particular. All of y'all are great, but I've got this one client in particular that I'm going to tell you what, she coaches me more than I coach her. She's awesome. But anyway, so here's what I'm going to do, y'all. Going forward, starting next week, I think I'm going to upload this probably on Wednesday. Going forward next week, I will be doing my what I eat in a day and let's cook a lean and green. I'm going to continue to do those. But on my what I eat in a days, I'm gonna do those on Tuesday. My weigh-in is on Monday. So on Tuesday, when I upload my what I eat in a day, I'm gonna give y'all a report every Tuesday and tell you how I did the last week. What I lost, if I was in my book. I mean, we're talking serious accountability. So here's kind of the fun, cool part about this. I hate that I gained some weight back, but here's kind of the fun, cool part. Y'all are gonna really get to see the weight loss as it happens, how it happens. And then you're gonna get to go through transition with me because I'll go back through transition again. And then my hope is by this summer-ish, I will be in full-on maintenance. And I can't wait to share that with y'all. So this is gonna be fun. This is good. I'm counting it as a positive. All right, guys. I hope this answered some of your questions. If you had questions, this gave you a clearer picture of how this all works. And I hope if you're on program that it was an encouragement to you. And I'm going to give you a piece of advice if you are on program. Don't do what I did. Do not do what I did. Get in this book. Start changing your habits. I'm going to tell you what my coach tells me. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You'll lose weight, but nothing will change. I proved that to myself this year. Okay? Here we go. Here's my 5-in-1 2.0. We got this. And as I tell all my clients, let's do this. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. I love you all. Y'all stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next time.